There's a lot of ways to make $10,000 per month, but in this video, I'm gonna share with you the smartest and fastest way to make over $10,000 a month. In fact, what I'm sharing with you today took me to over $100,000 a month in profit when I was 18 years old. If you don't believe me, feel free to go back on the channel. I have over 1,100 videos, and there's a reason why we have over 300,000 subscribers here. So social proof out of the way, yes, it's my belief that this is by far the best model. However, I guarantee you if you try this, there's gonna be a moment where you wanna quit, and that's usually right before you get results. Remember, anything worth having is not gonna come easy. In fact, this was really difficult for me to build when I was 16, 17, and 18, but it was definitely worth it, and it's probably as close to easy as we're gonna get. So I'm gonna show you two ways to do this. One with under $10,000 startup budget, and the second is if you have very close to zero, like a couple $100s. You can have the no budget and the low budget startup options. Now, this is building an e-commerce store. It's a very simple model. In fact, you can totally start with dropshipping. A lot of people say that's saturated or doesn't work anymore. I've been doing it for many years. I've bought a lot of inventory as well, but I can have sub 10-day shipping times and get no customer complaints while drop shipping, and I can build a brand off of that just fine. I have no problems with it. Now, if you don't know what that is, this is where you sell a physical product to a customer, but you don't purchase the product when you're drop shipping until your customer buys it from you. So this allows you to have a much lower startup budget. You don't need to have a bunch of risk with thousands of dollars worth of inventory and really go through that entire process. It's very simple to start. Now, yes, you might be thinking, I'm just a middleman. It doesn't matter. If you're trying to go from $0 to $10,000 a month, you need to do whatever it is, whether it's a job, a sales job, or working some side hustle, or building an e-commerce business. You just want to get the money coming in. And you can totally help all your customers and deliver them a great product by drop shipping. That's just fine. But what a lot of people don't realize is even this middleman type business can be worth a ton of money. These still sell at about 3x their net profit. So if your store is making $200,000 a year in profit, it's worth about 600 grand. So it is sustainable to drop ship if you do it the right way. And again, I've spent over $1 million in inventory. I want faster shipping when the product is working really well, but I do definitely keep it really simple, and drop shipping works just fine. I just made a free course, my first ever, where it shows you start to finish everything you need, gives you links to all the resources, shows you some store examples, some of my own brands that work, copies of my ads. You can go through the whole thing. I kept it really simple at a 5th grade level so that you can get everything from start to finish. It's free right now. I've never done anything like this, but I definitely recommend you be among the first to go through it because it's gonna help a lot of people. So with that being said, make sure to drop a like and let's jump right in. There's 5 things you're gonna need to do this. Number 1, a good product, a good store, video ads, TikTok ad account, and sourcing. Where are you gonna be fulfilling the product, side of things from when you're drop shipping? Because that's the biggest issue. You can have a bad drop shipping supplier that takes 48 days to get it to your customer. That's not sustainable. Now, again, the free course goes through each of these a lot more in depth, so definitely grab that while it's still free. But number 1, the product. Let's talk about that. It's not that hard, but it can't be done in one day. You're gonna need to spend some time looking. I'm very selective with what I choose to sell. Here's an example of 3 different products that I've sold. Number 1, custom jewelry. I did a little over $1 million in sales in under 6 months by selling these products. Why? It has a pretty high wow factor. If somebody can customize it, it's personal to them, so they like it. I get a lot of engagement on those ads. It's also really easy to film video ads for it. Now, jewelry in general doesn't cost a lot of money to fulfill. For this necklace, I was selling it for $35, but it costed me $8. That's a really good margin difference there. Even though it was custom, I was getting shipping times while drop shipping, right? Doing $1 million drop shipping in 6 months. And this is in 2022. So I was doing this when people said it was dead, but doing that with 15-day shipping for a custom product. That's crazy. Like, everybody loved it, nobody complained. Product number 2 is an electric lighter. Really cool. It doesn't use any gas or butane. That was the whole marketing angle. And we were running it on Facebook. This was something I did back in the day, and it did really well. People have also started scaling this product over to TikTok. But I was making about $5,000 a day selling this product because it's such a wow factor. Everybody was commenting, tagging people, so it had that organic viral push. Everybody really enjoyed it because nobody had seen it before. Again, the margin was also pretty sweet, $7 to $8 to fulfill, selling it for about $35. And the third product is this dog water bottle. I did about $2.1 million in just over a year with it. It performed really well. Now, it was a little bit harder to make video ads because I don't have a dog, and to show this product, you need a dog. Thankfully, I had a friend who did, so I'd send my videographer over there to go film some different content, take photos, so that made the process a little easier to get videos. But again, this product was really cheap, especially to drop ship, because it's just plastic. There's no electric stuff inside of here. There's no like fancy thing. It's not a custom piece of jewelry. It's just plastic. And so it was really cheap, but we could still mark it up a lot. So the gross margin was really high. Now, I can go on and on with the list of products, but what do all these have in common? What should you be looking for when you're trying to sell a product? First things first, you need a margin. A lot of people try to sell something for $40 that they buy for $20. That's a 2x margin. It's just gonna be almost impossible to make any money. You're really looking for a 3 minimum, ideally a 4. So what can you get for under $10 that you can sell for 30 to 40 at least? If you can be in that range, you know, where you're 3 to 4x, that's gonna put you in a good position. Number two, you need to make sure that you can get really good videos of the product consistently, because we're gonna be running those as paid ads, whether it's on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, we're gonna be running those as ads. So you need to be able to constantly film with the product and just think about how easy it is to actually get those videos. And the third thing, you need to make sure it appeals to a reasonably broad market. You know, I want a lot of people inside of there that I can sell to. I don't want to be selling some 7-slice toaster that's meant for a blind person with one arm. You know, like that's a little bit too niche for me. Oh, and a quick side note, while I love this business model, it's given me everything in my life and it's, you know, it's something I'm super familiar with. It's not that hard to do. I'm more so in love with the topic here about the personal finance, getting to freedom, because $10,000 a month is really that like entry-level personal freedom amount. And, you know, I had a rough transition when I was moving across the country at 17. I was underage. Everything I owned got stolen from me. I just got kicked out of the house, dropped out of school. It was a rough transition. And it was this business model that really saved my butt and stopped me from being homeless. So if I can make it work, anybody can make it work. And I've been able to help thousands of people over the years, which is great. But like, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, you know, but I am willing to outwork somebody. So that just proves that anybody can do it. All right, now let's go from here to here. Artificial intelligence. What does this have to do with e-commerce? It's been taking the world by storm the past 90 days, especially with ChatGPT, Jasper, all these different tools. What is going on and how does it relate to e-commerce? I recently did a challenge here on YouTube. This is the thumbnail, that's the video. I challenged myself to make $1,000 in profit in just 7 days with an e-commerce store by using AI, okay? And if I didn't make it, I had to shave my head bald. And so I was a little nervous about the process, not gonna lie, but I chose to make the money with AI using e-commerce. So what did I use it for? A couple things. Number one, general research. I wanted to know how big certain markets were, what people are buying, so like identifying the niche in the product I want to sell. Okay, so at least gave me the niche. Number two, writing the product description for the Shopify store. I literally copy pasted it. Now I tweaked it. I spent probably 15 minutes reorganizing, changing it, doing some bullet points, like reorganizing the information, but it was pretty simple. And AI, specifically that was ChatGPT, gave me all of that. Number three, I used AI to generate fake images that were AI generated. It kind of blew my mind, for the website. So the photos weren't even real. The people in there were AI generated. And then 4, emails. Very easy for, you know, using Writer or ChatGPT, all these different tools to handle email marketing for anything you want to do. So that was actually a really easy copy paste process. But those 4 things, I ended up making $1,200 in profit, about $1,150 in 7 days, which is really incredible on a new e-commerce store. So again, you can watch that video, but like that's a simple way that you can plug and play all these tools. And I say that to point out the fact that it's becoming easier and easier because now there's all these automation tools. So dropshipping is easier than ever to start. And I only did that video because a lot of people said there's no way to make money with AI. So of course I wasted a ton of time to make a small amount of money and show it all to prove someone wrong. So classic Hayden move, but it was a good time. And for my folks out there already making consistent money with e-commerce, you have to find a way to reduce your taxes. The best way to do that is to click the link down below and book a free discovery call with my good friend Chris over at the Ecom Accountants. We go way back, but he's been able to help me a lot in my business. And I actually consulted with him before I made the move down to Puerto Rico, where I now have a single-digit tax rate. It's absolutely crazy, but e-commerce businesses have access to a lot of really unique tax advantages that a lot of other businesses don't have. The problem is your standard local CPA is not going to know about most of these. Trust me, I've gone through a lot of them. So book a free call, just have a chat with them, be honest, be open about your business, your numbers, and where you're trying to go. They can definitely make a really cool tax plan and just help you get there, give you some tips and tricks, and maybe there's a way for you guys to work together so that they can save you a ton of money. It's the same thing as trying to get more sales and make more money. Reducing those expenses, that's free money that you're leaving on the table. So make sure to spend less on taxes by booking a call with the e-commerce accountants. So now that we've talked about products and AI and all this stuff, how do you actually make money by dropshipping a very basic product? I'll give you the faster way that I chose that costs a little bit of money, and then we'll talk about the free way. Sound good? All right, drop a like. So this is running ads, paid ads. It can be Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, doesn't really matter. Now the platform right now that's generating the most sales is TikTok. You can open a TikTok business manager. I'll leave it linked below. I recommend if you're just getting started, deposit any amount of money, even if they let you put $1 in there, it just starts warming up your account history. So again, link below, start opening your account because account history matters. But running TikTok ads, we're doing millions of dollars a year in sales right now. It's by far the most poppin' platform for us because it's not that hard to make things go viral. So once you've opened your TikTok account, you're gonna need to go to the Business Help Center and search up Spark Ads. This is gonna show you how to launch a video that is posted on your TikTok page and run that as ads. It's the only way that we run ads. It's by far the best, the most profitable, because it brings all the engagement into one point. We'll talk about that later. We talk about it more in the free course. But so now you need videos. You need videos to post, and there's two ways to do that. There's the paid way and the free way. Again, there's always a paid and a free with everything. The paid way just costs more money, but the free way, it costs next to no money, but it's gonna take a ton of effort and time. So you just get to pick which one you wanna do. The paid way for videos is paying somebody else to film videos for your product. This could be a videographer directly. It could be a third-party service like Viral Ecom Ads. We work with them a lot. Or you can do yourself. And that requires a few things. First of all, you need to have the skill, and if you don't have it, you're gonna have to build it. So this is where a lot of people fail when they try to do it, but it's gonna be a lot of effort. You're gonna have to spend a few months probably studying TikTok. Every second matters. Every screen, every flash, every color, every text piece of whatever, everything matters. Now, figuring out that viral formula, it took me 30 days. I went and did that in 2020 because I was locked up in the house and had nothing else to do when the virus hit. And I figured out how to go viral every single time consistently in about 30 days. That's how much time it took me to learn it. It's not rocket science, but it is crazy how viral they push some of these videos on TikTok. Now, the paid way to do this is running TikTok ads. We're gonna spend about $100 to $250 a day for a couple days while we're first testing a product. If it gets 0 sales or just 1 sale, I'm probably gonna move on. Maybe I'll try the product one more time with a couple new videos, change around the price and all that. But if it doesn't work, I'm just gonna move on really quickly. However, if one ad gets multiple sales, that's showing me that there's something working. So I'm gonna build off of that. I'm gonna leave that one running, and I'm gonna go duplicate it again and try some new stuff. I'm gonna make a lot of new videos. I'm gonna put a ton of effort or money back into that so I can continue trying to build off what was already working. What got me those 3 to 5 sales before? So I'm gonna dive back in and give it a real shot. Now, understand that during this testing phase, most people are like, oh, well, I'm breaking even. Like, that's terrible. I'm just gonna give up on the product. If you're breaking even in a business, you're a month in, that is incredible. You're gonna be at break even or at a slight loss for quite a while during the testing phase, maybe 30 days, 60 days, which is still so fast in the grand scheme of business. But understand this, 30% of my revenue comes just from email and text message marketing. So even if I'm running at 0%, I'm making no money. If later I scale it up still at 0%, I'll make a ton of money just through email and text. So that's a huge one. You probably don't have upsells set up. Your website's not optimized. Your ads aren't perfect. Your pricing isn't perfect. None of that. So you could pretty easily jump up your margin a lot. So being at break even or a slight loss is a good position to be in during a test. Now, sometimes it's profitable, but that's rare. Now, again, that's the paid ads option. It's going to take at least a few $1,000s. I highly recommend. I mean, the bigger the budget, the longer the runway you have to test with. That's how you run the paid ads. Again, much more of a deep dive inside the free course. Now let's talk about the $0 strategy. If you open up your wallet and there's not but a few shekels in there, what do you do? Worry not, because there is a solution. This is where you have to put in a lot more work again and study the platform. Take a few months, learn it. You're gonna have to do what I did. It does take a lot of effort. It takes a lot of testing. So you're gonna be making probably 5 TikToks a day at least. That's what I was doing. That's kind of the magic number, to figure out every little variable and try it all. Now here's an example of a TikTok page from a student of mine who scaled his store past $1 million a month. He came to me, it was dying, doing like $2,000 a day, which was about $200-300 in profit. It wasn't very good. 60 days later, he was doing $140,000 a day. Like just insane results. It was around Black Fridays, of course, it was very high, but doing really well. He spent a ton of time studying TikTok, how to make these videos go viral, how to craft every little detail perfectly. And he did this with 2 different stores. So he's done this extremely, extremely well, because studying those details, that's how you learn. That's the only way to do it organically. He also runs a lot of paid ads. But again, doing what nobody else is willing to do, which is studying the details. When people come to me saying, oh, my stuff's not working, I'm like, all right, let me look at it, you know? And it's trash. Their video is terrible. They wonder why it's not working through paid ads or organic. I mean, it's a video that even like I wouldn't want to watch. They wouldn't want to watch. So why are you making it? It's because you're gonna have to go through that process. Nobody wants to go through. Again, that's the point where people try to quit, because everybody's gonna go through that process. It's very difficult to learn a new skill. Like for an example, right now I'm trying to build a few new skills. One of which is learning chess and all the different moves in Queen's Gambit and Sicilian and Ruy Lopez. Like those are all very difficult to understand every possible permutation, but I'm also trying to learn 2 new languages, one of which is Russian. Like that is, I'm beyond confused. It's very difficult, and I've wanted to quit, but I had a goal of learning those. It's gonna take a long time, but you gotta keep working at it. So again, TikTok is a very powerful platform. I highly recommend you use it because once it takes off and it starts working, yummy, those results are really, really good. So how do you take an e-commerce store to $10,000 a month, specifically in profit? Well, if you're running paid ads, you're gonna need to be bringing in a conservative $40,000 a month in sales. And I understand you might be like, hey, how the hell am I gonna bring in $480,000 a year? Right now I work for $18 an hour. I get it, but understand something. The start is very difficult, but once you're at the $40,000 a month mark, you're not gonna stay there. It's hard to stay there. It's easier to double it, triple it. As long as you have a good product, good videos, and a big enough market, there's no reason why you can't 5X it, 10X it. It's not that difficult. It's harder to start, which is why most people quit. So you're gonna be spending about $400 to $500 a day on paid ads, bringing back probably $1,200 in sales with a few $100s in profit. Stack that up over the month, there's 9, 10, 11, 12 grand. So something very consistent for you. Now, I wouldn't go quit your job and stop everything else if you're making good money because there's a lot of fluctuation in e-commerce. So let it ride for a bit, use it as a side hustle first, stack up some money, and then you can make that decision. But it's really not that difficult once you prove that the product is working. And to do this, all you really need is like 2 or 3 ad groups that are working really good, that are spending, $100 to $250 a day. Like, it's a very light thing. That's probably like 3 ads running inside of there with a couple videos under each. Like, it's really not rocket science. It's a very simple setup, and it takes next to no work to manage. And again, once you do this and prove that it's working, that's when you can explode like a rocket ship and scale to 6 figures a month. That's where you have tens of thousands a month in profit coming in. Like this store that I recently did where it was working really well. It was basic jewelry. It took it to $169,000 in the second month. Like, you can do things like that because of the scalability. So I hope this video made a good argument for why this would be the best business model to start to get to 10K a month while learning some great skills and being able to put some money in your pocket, at least convince you enough to go through the free course, which I think will help expand upon a lot of these points and give you practical, actionable steps to go through it all. It also gives you a bunch of resources, all the links you need and every little thing like that. So make sure to check that out because it's absolutely free, no gimmicks, no credit card, no whatever. I just want a bunch of people to be able to start doing this year. Now, I will be honest, this is a very difficult model to scale past about $1 million a year in profit. I have done this very successfully. I've ran it for 7 years. It's changed my life. It's done really, really well. And I've helped a lot of other people do the same, but it's a difficult business model to scale really far. So if you're already making $1 million a year, don't get into e-commerce thinking it'll probably get you to 10. That's unlikely to get to 10 million in profit. It's totally doable. People have done it, but it's probably not the business model that I would choose. Hence why I have another company running that will get me to that tens of millions mark. And just because I know people are going to ask, that's in the software space. So again, a very different company, valued completely different. So I hope I can help a ton more people get to $10,000 a month in profit this year. That'd be a great milestone. Please keep me updated with your progress. I've gotten so many amazing messages. It's heartwarming. I mean, you guys are freaking awesome. So keep me updated. I would love to hear from you once you get there. I hope this video served you well. Hope it earned a thumbs up and a subscribe. With that being said, I post here every single week. So I'll see you in the next one. Adios.